Live from the Windsor Pub in Akron, Ohio, it's the Sports Brewing Company on the SKO Radio Network. Call now at 234-200-5110. That's 234-200-5110. And now, here are your hosts, Brad Girton and Rick Carpenter.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm Brad, and Rick is sitting right across from me as usual.
Go ahead, start rubbing it in.
No, not at all. We had a very interesting day in the NFL today. And, Rick, I know you want to start with Cleveland. No loss today for them. And the drama seems to be building there. We'll get to that in a minute. What's like your big takeaway from this game?
Well, in the first half, I didn't think the Browns were ready to play. The offense was stagnant in the first half. They never really moved the ball. They never really put themselves in chance on third down. It was always 3rd and 8, 3rd and long. The defense, I thought, was playing good. I thought the defense played good the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah, they were creating turnovers. They're giving
Jackson's terrible.
You know, it is frustrating because the defense has been creating turnovers all year, and Cleveland has not been able to cash in on those.
No.
You know, they're plus-minus. Their record should be flipped with that kind of plus-minus on turnovers.
I think they're number one in the league as far as the plus-minus goes. I know they have the most takeaways of any team in the league.
I think they lead in takeaways. They're near the top in the plus-minus. I think there was someone else, like Chicago was right on them or something like that. But they're one of the leaders, and they just – I'll tell you what's bad is they average like 1 point per turnover. They don't score on those. Yeah.
Well, and that's a problem. I mean, they're talking about it with one of the defense players who goes, "Yeah, we're just waiting for that one where we finally return one for 6 points." Or
right. You know, that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, it's going to take like that old Baltimore defense where they don't just intercept the ball; they intercept the ball and
make
take
a play
it all away.
Right, make a play.
But the end of that half. They didn't kick a field goal. They went for it on 4th down and didn't get it because Baker fumbled out of bounds. They kicked that field goal. Now we're looking at.
Yeah, where was that ball spotted at? Do you remember?
It was close, maybe the 20. It wasn't that far away. It wasn't like it was, and it was early enough in the game where points on the board help. I
thought that was closer to midfield then, but maybe I'm wrong.
Just the whole game. I mean, the second half their offense looked a lot better, but the receivers dropped balls. I don't know if they're running. I don't know if they're even running the right patterns. It's hard to tell when you look at it. It's so stagnant at times.
That Njoku catch was a nice one today in the end zone.
He had like 3 drops also.
I know. It's frustrating because you see the talent and the skills he has, but the consistency is not there.
Hey, if you can't catch the ball, you're not going to stay in the NFL long.
Exactly, especially in today's NFL where it's a passing-dominated league.
I mean, Baker came out in the second half, led him down the field, scored. You know, in the second half, Baker looked like he was finally getting a little fire in him. I love the officials of this game. They're just outstanding. They, once again, do a hell of a job. Did you hear the explanation for the Baker Mayfield hit to the head?
I did not.
So you saw the play. Did you see the play?
I did not. I did not see that play.
Takes off running, gains about 25, 30 yards, gets a first down. Goes to slide. He might not have been sliding completely feet first, but the guy goes helmet to helmet and creams him.
Okay.
Well, Baker jumps up, gets right in his face, and I'm like, oh, Baker's going to get called for taunting. All right, here we go. He's getting called for taunting because there's flags on every play.
Right.
No, they picked the flag up, and the ref's definition to it was, since Baker was a runner, you're allowed to hit to the head. I'm like, and nowhere in the NFL do they want you hitting to the head.
Right.
You're not allowed to go helmet to helmet.
They must not have thought it was too egregious to pick that flag up. Because if
he blasted him.
Yeah, you're not supposed to lead with the helmet and do helmet to helmet.
No, it was a horrible
hits.
Ball. It was one of their.
I know they tolerate it more with ball carriers, especially when there's congestion around. That's going to happen. But yeah, you can't launch into a player with your helmet like that. They'll flag that every time. But I didn't see that play. So
no, they missed several calls and called several BS calls. We got called for a face mask on offense when the guy basically like a stiff arm did his face mask. He didn't grab it. I mean, that's supposed to be just a stiff arm.
They call that on offense?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you don't see that very often. First quarter.
Yeah.
There were so many penalties. At one time, the receivers caught the ball and they stood up and looked to see if there was a flag on the play before they actually got to celebrate. Jarvis Landry is going to need a GoFundMe account because the NFL's fining him about $20,000 tomorrow because he bashed the refs up and down. And, hey, look, a player's got to do it. A coach needs to do it, but we don't really have a head coach. His figurehead sucks.
Yeah, the frustration is building in Berea. With the losses kind of piling up here, and the Hugh Jackson era has been, pretty much a disaster. Rick, after the game, Hugh Jackson has said he's going to be involved in the offense more. That's a role he had the first 2 years here, on top of being head coach. A position, him being head coach is something he likes to remind everybody of as much as possible. Him being more involved in the offense after they brought Haley in, I don't think this is going to go well. Where this is headed right now.
Why isn't he getting more involved with the players? I mean, you got flags all over on the field for holding, why aren't you pulling the players on aside on the field and talking to them and dealing with the players when this happens?
Right.
Because you're not doing anything else.
Well, him being a head coach, and he's said before he's like the CEO, because he likes to remind everybody he's the head coach. He's the head coach. He's the head coach. He should be. He has the time and the ability now to work with all the different parts of the team, handle different issues. We're not there in every practice, so we don't always know what's going on. But he doesn't seem as involved on the sidelines as some other coaches.
No,
obviously.
It honestly seems like he bought season tickets and he just got lucky and got pulled to stand on the sideline the whole year.
So what's your take on Hugh coming out publicly saying he's going to be involved in the offense more now?
I think this is Hugh trying to figure out a way to save his job because he's pretty much done.
Is he kind of passing the buck a little bit, you think? Because he's done that before.
I don't know if he really is passing the buck because if you watch their offense, it's not like Haley's tearing it up out there.
Right.
The offense isn't really flowing the way it should. So, I don't know if he's passing the buck or just look, I think the guy's fighting for his job.
Yeah, well, he obviously is. They're not running the ball like they should be, probably.
No, and they give up on it again.
Yeah.
They give up on it like the whole second half. The guy runs the ball pretty good on first time, give him the ball so you're not sitting at 2nd and 10. Then you throw for 5 yards and you're 3rd and 5. Then you punt. You could almost script what was going to happen.
Well, it's well known that Haley is pretty fiery coach. I don't think he's going to take this line down, with Hugh Jackson, what he said here. Like, if Hugh Jackson wanted to be more involved, he doesn't have to come out and say this. Just be more involved in the scheming, maybe, be involved with Haley more so they could game plan together more and bounce ideas off each other.
Well,
but him coming out and doing this, I don't think is very productive in the long term.
Haley's Dorsey's guy. Dorsey brought Haley in. It's not like Hugh Jackson's going to win this, getting in a fight with your boss's guy. That just ain't going to work. He'll promote Haley, which I'm not saying he should, but you got to make some kind of change. I think you need the players to also own up and they've made mistakes. And
well, the only thing that's going to save his job is winning, right? So I get it. If he thinks changes need to be made, they need to address a few things offensively. Even defensively, they do give up a lot of yards. They can always try to get better,
They need offensive line because Baker Mayfield is getting hit.
Yeah, the offensive line. I've been saying that all year. That's, I think, their weakest part. That's the weakest part of that team.
Oh, yeah, and that right side's terrible.
And honestly, that's probably part of the reason why the running game just isn't working like it should be.
No, and penalties, time and time again, they shoot themselves in the foot with penalties. There had to be 100 yards of penalties today.
If you watch a lot of football games, and the biggest thing about who's going to win that game is watch who's dominating the line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively. And that gives you a good idea of what team's winning.
Well, normally you pay attention to the takeaway giveaway.
Yeah.
But not with the Browns.
Yeah, that's one of those side things you track. You can't always predict that, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, as close as these games are, we've talked about this in the past, turnovers play a huge part in deciding these games. Because a lot of these are one-possession games.
And then this guy hits a 59-yard field goal.
Hey, I mean,
Hugh Jackson's amazed they were going to kick it.
That amazes me. He said after the game that he was surprised they lined up for a game-winning field goal. Like, there's only 2 minutes left in overtime. What, they're going to punt the ball away and hope that Cleveland doesn't, go down the field to win it? To me, that makes no sense. Why you're surprised they're lining up for the field goal.
He says something every week that you could fire him. Just going, wow, you're that incompetent. We can't have you. Every week he says something.
Yeah, for the listeners who aren't local, his press conferences daily here after practice, they'll make your head spin, some of the things he says. So they're 2-4, 2-4-1 now, Rick, and the schedule is not going to get any easier for them.
No, we got Pittsburgh this coming up week,
Yep.
Kansas City the week after.
At Pittsburgh. So you got your bye weeks in 3 weeks.
Right.
The next 3 games are at Pittsburgh, versus Kansas City, and versus Atlanta. They could very easily be 2-7-1. If they lose these 3, which they're going to be dogs in all these games. It's at the time they make the move and finally get rid of Hugh.
Do you wait that long? I mean,
that seems like a logical opportunity to do it.
It does, but I mean
now something really ridiculous happens. Like let's say, they get punked by Pittsburgh, which could happen, and they come home and just get destroyed by Kansas City, and things just aren't going well. Especially with Hugh Jackson backs himself in the corner a lot, and him getting more involved, which I think he should, but he came out publicly, and this offense still doesn't turn it around. That's just more on him. It's like, maybe you're not the right guy, which I think everybody knows, but
I think
it's the public opinion.
We've already figured out he's not the right guy.
He's not the right guy. He's not.
When do they want to fire him? I mean, at this point, that would be week 10 or 11. There's only 5 games left.
Right, but
do you just let him go?
Well,
do you let him do lame duck?
No, I wouldn't. I guess you could, but
I don't think it would. I don't think it matters.
If he's not the right guy, why keep him there? Because he's going to do more damage than anything, right?
Yeah.
So let's make the change. And if Dorsey, we don't know what he's thinking. If he thinks maybe Haley could be the guy, why don't you let him coach the last 6 games and just see what happens, and then you can make your determination in the offseason.
Well, and the other thing is, too, with you coming out with these statements and everything, that locker room and everything's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
You got to nip this in the butt.
Like you said, you had Landry come out. He's bitching about the refs. It seems like there's just a lot of drama building.
Play calling.
And this happens when you're losing. You do have people start complaining, pointing fingers,
Yeah, and let's face it, this team is young. They're still learning to win.
Yeah.
Next year, if they there's 3 or 4 games that next year you look at if they were this year's games next year, maybe they turn them around and they win them instead of making these crucial errors at times.
Yeah, well, they've gotten to the point where they're in a lot of games, and the next step is you got to find a way to win them.
Yeah, and it's not with this coach.
Definitely not.
He's proven it. He's not the guy. We tied the record today for overtime games.
4 overtimes. That's ridiculous.
We still got half the year to play.
Yeah. You know what his record is in one-possession games in Cleveland, Hugh Jackson?
Oh, and what?
He's won a couple one-possession games.
He's only won a couple games.
Yeah, well, they were all one-possession games.
Yeah.
He's won 3 games, but he's 3-14-1.
Yeah, well, he's only won 3 games.
Right.
Period.
And to me, if you're losing an inordinate amount of – a high percentage amount of the one-possession games, that's a coaching issie. Because you're good enough to – you're right there. And sometimes it's that one decision.
If you watched it last year, there was coaching that lost games. And they had a couple close games last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to wait. I just get rid of him.
Yeah, so listen, he's on the hot seat. He's been on the hot seat.
He was on the hot seat last year, and then he jumped in a lake and cooled off.
He's on a volcano right now. And I think these 3 weeks, he's fighting for his job. I could see.
Is he really fighting for his job, or is he auditioning for another job? Is that why he's going to take over part of the play calling because he wants to prove to someone he can be an offensive coordinator again?
Remember, he's the head coach.
Yeah,
he'll tell you. Just ask him. He's the head coach.
It ain't going to matter. I honestly.
He's the head coach.
He can sit there and say it till he's blue in the face. I mean, I can say I'm the head coach, and I.
Yeah, but he's the head coach. Just ask him. So he can do what he wants.
He don't even know basic clock management.
No.
Which you can grab a 12-year-old that's good at Madden football, and he knows clock management.
You know, I've been in sales most of my life, and sometimes you have like a top sales producer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they think he's management material. Here's a great example. He becomes a manager. He's not a manager. He can't lead. Like Hugh Jackson is like that guy who's maybe a pretty good coordinator. Okay,
that's a lot of Browns coaches in the past. Romeo Crennel,
he was considered the quarterback guru. Okay, I'm not 100% behind that, but that was his reputation. I think he had that 1 year with Oakland, you know,
and he had the Andy Dalton.
Yeah, he was with the Bengals. But so he was given the opportunity, and he's just not that guy.
No,
he's not a guy to lead a team. You know,
but is Todd Haley?
I don't think he was that bad in Kansas City, personally.
I mean, maybe if you take the pressure of play calling off of him, he might be a better head coach than. Because his play calling sucks.
I'm not saying Haley's the right guy. I just don't know who else they would put there if they make the move.
I was just happy we didn't run a trick play on the goal line this week. You know, normally we do a reverse or. He had one play. It was Mayfield was in shotgun, and they hiked the ball and lateral to the running back who cuts back inside. It was like a delayed draw inside.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was.
It was. Even the announcers were like, I don't know what this play is.
Yeah, it was a slight misdirection, and he basically ran right back into the pile.
Yeah,
right.
Ran right at everybody that was blocking and tackling. I don't get it. I mean, they got to start winning these games instead of losing these games.
Of course, that's what you're supposed to do. So, do you agree? Do you think if he's 2-7-1 by week that he's gone? They finally make the move.
I think he may be gone after tonight. I mean, the way this is coming out, this is like Berea's on fire right now.
I mean, at that point, he'd be 3-38. That's ridiculous. It's come on. I mean, like how much longer are you gonna put up with the nonsense? So
that's why I drink.
Okay, we're gonna take our first quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more NFL, and we'll be right back.
Hi, folks. Handy Randy. Some Kind of Radio. Every Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, we take your themes. First off, we need you to go to yesterday and today's classics. Music, chat, trivia, and games, and join that Facebook site. Once you do that, then watch for the themes and the requests. Tuesday night, 6 until 10, classic rock and roll. Promise will knock your socks off.
Are you ready to have your huevos turned into balls of fury? Are you ready to be right for once, no matter how many times she's told you you're wrong? Are you ready for the new concept in manliness? It's time to throw down your clubs. It's time to climb out of the caves. It's time to join the onslaught of masculinity. Tune in to the Manpocalypse with Mike and Aaron every Saturday night from 7 to 10 p.m. right here on the SKO Radio Network.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Hi, this is Bob Fritz, host of the Oldies But Goodies show here on SKO Radio. Join me every Sunday morning from 11 to 2 Eastern Standard Time for the best of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. You can get your requests in by going to Facebook page Yesterday and Today's Classic Music Chat, Tribute, and Games.
You're listening to SKO Radio, where there is no fake news. Fact is, we don't have any news at all.
Welcome back, everybody. We are the Sports Brewing Company, brought to you by SKO Radio. Please feel free to text or call 234-200-5110. It could be likes, dislikes, any comments. We welcome them all. So, Rick, let's continue with our NFL coverage. It was a very interesting day. Day got started early. I don't know if you were awake. I was, actually.
I saw part of it. I got here by about 10 o'clock, so I managed to see part of that game.
That's pretty early. What were you doing here that early?
Getting ready for the buffet.
How'd that go?
Went pretty well. It's not like you just sign on and do it real quick. You got to get everything.
Right.
We did a breakfast buffet, so that took about an
Did
hour
you really?
to set up. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, you missed country fried steak.
Dude, come on. Why didn't you tell me that?
Country fried steak,
That's my
biscuits
favorite.
and gravy,
Eggs?
sausage and eggs.
Oh, my God.
And hash browns. Can't forget the hash browns.
Dude, I live for that. That's one of my favorites.
That's football morning food.
It is. It was cooler out today. It's, great food for that. Warm you up. Very hearty. Hey, so the London game was between Tennessee and the Chargers. And did you see the end of that game, Rick?
I didn't see the very end.
So Tennessee scored a touchdown, and it was 2019.
Yeah.
They decided to go for two, and it's right at the end of the game. So they either win it or lose it, or you kick the extra point, you're going to go to overtime. Now, I guess I want to get your feeling on this. Vrabel decided to go for two, and they do not convert and end up losing the game. So what's your feeling? I have a feeling on that, I'll tell you, but what do you think? What would you do in that situation?
Me personally, you put the points on the board, you go to overtime. If you get the ball first, you're going to win the game. If you should have enough faith in your defense to basically stop them and get the ball back. So I would probably go by the numbers and you kick the extra point. But then I always give credit to coaches that go for two. But I'm like, you're a hero if you win, you're a goat if you don't. It's one way or the other.
Yeah. I'm not going to fault the guy for going for the win. But I'm going for the extra point there, especially because Tennessee kind of had a rally at the end to tie that game. So they have the momentum, I think. All the momentum at that point. And I play to live another day. Like, I tie that game, go overtime, and take my win or loss from there.
Well, that's what we've always done.
That's my feeling.
Yeah, and even the Browns are doing that. I mean, you live to fight another day. You give yourself another chance.
Yeah.
Let's
go to overtime.
Put the points on the board.
I totally agree. Agree.
I mean, I get Vrabel's competitiveness, and he was a player, and he's like, I want to win it now. But in the end, it's still the wrong call.
I think it is. At that point, it is.
I bet you
tie the game up, go to overtime, and have faith in your team to find a way to win in overtime.
Yeah, I mean,
that's big.
I can see if it's the end of overtime trying to pull that.
I can see that, and that there was a situation that happened like that too.
Yeah,
I think instead of kicking a field goal or something. So I don't remember the exact details, but I remember we talked about that. You know what? I think we need to do our first shot of the night here. So if you guys are drinking, join us. We're going to take a quick shot.
Oh, that was a big shot.
You all right, Rick?
Yep, that was good.
You still with us here, buddy?
That washed down a little bit of the Browns' defeat today. It's the first shot of the day. Had to get it out of the way. It just watching that Browns game is just so disheartening. And people actually, you gotta understand, you see it. You can see the progress they're making. You can see where they're gonna be able to go. It's like right there, but it's just one or two more pieces. That's all it's gonna take.
I think they need more than that. They got to get deeper.
Well, no, that's what I mean. You get deeper, you get another receiver, you get someone on the right side of the offensive line that knows how to stick his hands up. Just little pieces, though. It's not one or two. It might be, 3 or 4 more pieces, but it's still, they'll be right there.
And a new head coach.
Definitely a new head coach.
So Jacksonville finally replaced Blake Bortles. Benched him.
With Cody Kessler.
Former
Browns player.
Actually, this was an interesting day for ex-Browns quarterbacks. Derek Anderson played for Buffalo today. Didn't play well, but he played.
Well, he could always.
So they're all over the place.
Maybe that's why they brought Derek Anderson and said, Josh Allen can throw the ball a mile. That's what we're going to do with, Derek Anderson.
Would Buffalo like to have Tyrod Taylor back?
No one wants Tyrod Taylor. I heard a rumor the Browns were shopping him, trying to get a trade for him.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean,
what are you going to get?
If Mayfield gets hurt, don't you want a capable quarterback to play? He's a capable backup quarterback.
Define capable. I watched the first 3 games.
Well, he made the playoffs last year.
Somehow, doesn't that? I mean, you watched the games he played this year. You have to wonder.
Yeah, but I mean, your backup quarterbacks aren't generally, guys going to sling the ball around and move the ball downfield. So we
don't get lucky like that. We tried 30 times.
Listen, I will say this about Taylor, and maybe this is about all you can ask from a backup. He does not turn the ball over.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't move the ball either.
That's right. That's not his specialty. That's for sure.
It's a delayed punt. We put him out there for 3 downs.
The Ravens lost in a weird way that you wouldn't expect. Tucker, the most reliable place kicker in NFL history, missed an extra point to tie the game, and they lost.
Here's my trivia question. I told you about this Friday. I was going to ask you. With Drew Brees winning today in Baltimore, he joins 2 other quarterbacks to have beaten all 32 teams in the NFL. Do you know who they are?
Let's see. All right, is Brady one of them?
No, but
Manning?
Manning is one.
Okay. And Brett Favre?
Yep.
Okay.
The only reason it's not Tom Brady, he's never played for anybody but New England.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, everybody else has beat every team in the NFL. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is good. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good bar bet.
Yeah.
That's a good one. My Bears, they lost a game to
by like a half a yard.
Yeah, that they actually completed the Hail Mary, but couldn't get in the end zone, and that
was the Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary where you throw it just a little bit short.
Yeah.
Only he threw
right because all the defenders are in the end zone. And, and he just couldn't get in the end zone. Yeah, so very exciting way to finish the game. Unfortunately, my Bears came up short. I want to say this about Chicago. They're a good team. They're not great yet. And part of the reason is they're not getting any pressure on the quarterback anymore. Like, they had no sacks against Miami last week.
Which is weird. You got Khalil Mack.
He's got a bad wheel. He does have a bum ankle. But, I mean, that one player changes the whole team.
Yes, he does.
I mean, he was on the field, but they were not getting pressure on Brady.
I'm going to lose my bet to you because of that one player. He changed the whole dynamic of that team. I mean, and without him making his plays, because the plays he makes aren't just like he sacks the quarterback. No, like Kaiser, he just rips the ball out of his hands like a little girl. Or he forces a fumble. I mean, this guy makes bigger plays than just making the.
We're average with him hurt or without him. We could be really good when he's right, and we need to get him right quick.
Well, I mean, a good pass rusher helps out your whole secondary. I mean, if you got a good pass rusher, it helps your secondary.
So to me, I think the most important thing for defense today, in today's NFL, with the rules geared toward offense and passing, is you have to put pressure on the quarterback. If you don't do that, and the quarterback has time to throw, especially like the elite quarterbacks like Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Breeze, any of those quarterbacks, they will eat you alive. Well, it doesn't matter how good your secondary is, because eventually they're going to get tired.
And it stinks because
And he's going to find an open receiver.
you got to put a flag on the quarterback, though, because you're not allowed to touch him. And half
know,
these guys
but-
get afraid.
But that's the thing with the Bears is I was surprised they didn't sack him one time. I think they only hurried him 2 or 3 times. That's it.
That's sad.
And I'm surprised they lost the game only by one touchdown. Really. And I think that's a great example where you cannot be any good without putting pressure on the quarterback.
No,
you can't be.
You have to speed up because you can't touch the receiver's ear, so they're just playing catch. I mean, it makes it very hard for the DBs to do their job.
When you put pressure on the quarterback, you disrupt the play. Okay, so now he's got to make decisions. He's going to make mistakes, and obviously sacking him. That you could force a punt. I mean, there's all kinds of things, but without putting pressure on him, your defense is going to be terrible because the good quarterback will eat you alive.
Yeah.
Eat you alive.
Well,
And there was times where Brady was just standing back there. I was like, oh, my God. It was just amazing. They were not getting any pressure on him.
Well, but truthfully, it's amazing the game was that close. I mean,
I agree.
Brady
I totally agree with that.
I'm not thinking Chicago's having a chance because with Khalil Mack with a bum wheel, I thought for sure this would be a blowout.
Rick, was there any other games that kind of stuck out to you that you want to talk about before we move on to college football?
We had that one game today.
Which one?
Well, Jacksonville lost again.
Yep, yeah. We talked about Bortles getting benched. Yep, yeah, they're in trouble.
No, what was the game where they were down by 17 going into the fourth quarter?
Oh, that was the Carolina Eagles game.
Eagles game. Carolina Eagles, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great road win for them, actually. And I think they set a record for the biggest fourth quarter comeback, I think.
You shouldn't have enough possessions in the fourth quarter.
They
come back 3 scores.
They scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to win that game.
Yeah, I mean, if you run the ball, you can shoot enough time off the clock to win the game. I mean, that's amazing. You should not score 21 points in a quarter.
No, I didn't really watch a lot of that game. I caught parts of it because I was watching the Bears-Patriots game mostly. And so I don't know if Philadelphia let up a little bit. Maybe they did. I thought they had a game put away. I actually thought they did midway through. I'm like, yeah, they're going to hang on this game. So, they're human. And, if they did that, this one might cost them.
Yeah.
It's a conference loss, which if you're fighting for that playoff spot, that's huge. That's one of the tiebreakers.
It's the Super Bowl hangover, I guess. I mean, I still thought Philly had it, and I figured they wouldn't have the Super Bowl hangover considering that their starting quarterback didn't play in the Super Bowl. I thought he would be able to get these guys.
Well, the Eagles are a great example of how hard it is to win in the NFL.
They need a running back, too. Ajay got hurt. I'm surprised. I've heard the rumors that they've been contacting Pittsburgh about Le'Veon. Because Le'Veon says he's showing up tomorrow.
Yep. Well, let the drama start in Pittsburgh again.
Think he shows up?
I have no idea.
I'm willing to bet he shows up, but
he's going to want to get paid at some point. So,
man, he'd have to be afraid to practice because some of these guys don't sound like they want to be near him.
Well, I'm sure if he gets certain practice, that would be a disaster. So, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Connor's been playing just fine for them, so I don't see where they need to switch.
I think they're going to share carries, especially early for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And listen, you could incorporate Le'Veon in the passing game a little bit more. And so,
well, that's the other thing with the Browns. Duke Johnson disappeared again today. They trade Hideaway, and the only running back they use is Duke Johnson again. Not Duke Johnson, Chubb.
Chubb, yeah. Yeah, well, I guess Hugh Jackson's going to fix all that. So
we can bet on that too.
No, because I think we'd bet the same way. Okay, Rick, let's move on to college football. There was a very interesting day in college football. Let's start with the Buckeyes. They didn't just lose to Purdue, they got hammered.
The national title is now off the table.
Most likely. And unfortunately, teams like that, listen, they are very good. It's a very good program. They get an extra opportunity than most teams.
They do, and and I get it. But if you're a one-loss team about to get put into the playoff 4, you can't lose to Purdue by double.
By 29.
I mean,
Purdue
killed Ohio State's chances.
Hammered them, yeah. And
which helps your UCF.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about them here in a minute. They did win again, and their win streak is now at 20. So, but Ohio State, they just don't run the ball. I looked at some of the numbers because I was trying to figure out. They are really, really one-dimensional. We touched on this last week. They threw
this week was disgustingly lopsided.
They threw 73 passes, which is a lot.
I thought it was 76.
73 passes, 25 rush attempts. So that's 3-to-1 ratio.
Oh, they're trying to. When I was listening last night, they're trying to blame, the offensive line for not running. They said they weren't great at run blocking, pass blocking. Then they're blaming the fact that the quarterback's one-dimensional. Well, you finally got a quarterback in Ohio State, so block, and maybe Urban Meyer learns how to use the running back a little bit. He's got 2 good running backs there. They run good. I don't think he's doing the same thing he did when he had Zeke.
He's recruiting the top talent. He's got talent all over.
He don't even have to recruit anymore. They just come and ask and knock on the door. Like the one kid that played for Purdue that was all pissed he didn't get picked by Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a nice little payback there. Yeah, so they're very one-dimensional, and they don't have that lights-out defense either.
No, our defense is ranked last in big plays over 40, 50, 60.
And Purdue put a few of those up.
Yeah. I mean, the last play of the game was 40 yards, right?
Oh, I don't know.
43-yard touchdown for an interception by the kid that didn't.
It was an interception, yeah. So,
I mean.
Yeah, I don't think that counts against the defense, but yeah, that was a interception, pick 6.
I'm still 43. Well, the run before that, when they had to get him stopped, was a 34-yard scamper for a touchdown.
They were getting torched.
Well, and there were times we were watching the game, the receivers would line up. Before they snapped the ball, you look over and the DB's not even guarding this guy. Like, there's nobody on him at the line. The guy's 20 yards off coming up. Snap the ball again, and I'm like, Ohio State's defense is hideous. And they're going to have to figure it out real quick. It's not just Joey Bosa. It's Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa, yeah. Yeah, I want to touch on him. I'm glad you brought him up. He decided to forego playing for Ohio State. He said, I'm not going to come back. I'm just going to prepare for the NFL draft.
Well, they said if he could come back, it'd be the last game of the year. So
yeah, he said he's not going to.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And I do agree with that.
Yeah. So what's your feelings on that? Him saying, I'm just going to concentrate on going to the NFL, because he's projected to be like a number 1, number 2 top pick.
Yeah, he's top 5 pick. Look, I have no problem with it, because honestly, I don't. Either that or he risks getting McGahee, where his knee gets taken out and he drops from a first-round pick to a third-round pick. It's a lot of money for someone to lose.
Yeah, I don't blame him either because of the money. There's just so much money waiting for him.
Yeah, you got to go get the money.
Just take care. It's generational money.
Yeah.
Right? So just do what's best for you. I get it. I mean, it sucks for the rest of us who would like to see him playing in college, but we'll get to enjoy him in the pros. So yeah, I can't blame a kid for that at all. I really can't.
No way you let someone turn down money like that.
Yeah.
I mean.
So, Ohio State lost. So this changes the playoff picture.
It does.
We still have like this. So it opens the door for somebody big time. Like now, it's a big clouded. That number 4 right now it's anybody's choice.
Well, it's Alabama,
your
Clemson,
top 3, and Notre Dame,
LSU.
Well, you're undefeated. So LSU's in that. It's now in that big box of teams that are competing for that 4th spot.
Right.
The top 3 are Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame. They're all undefeated.
Michigan's at 5.
Well, we haven't seen the BCS, the bowl committee ratings yet.
That was the ratings I saw. I think it was the Associated Press or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, listen, so you have teams like LSU, Michigan, Texas, Georgia, UCF, like those teams in the mix for that. I guess you can still say Ohio State.
I know, not after 49-20 to Purdue.
I mean,
can't happen.
See, you know who I want in there?
UCF.
I want UCF because let's give the little guy a chance.
Let's see if he can do it.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Like, they have, like, yeah, they don't play the SEC gauntlet. I totally get it. But they have some good games coming up in their conference. And, like, for instance, South Florida is undefeated as well. They're 7-0. They got to play UCF here coming up. And I think they play Cincinnati yet. Cincinnati's
not terrible.
Let's give a shout-out to, you know who Cincinnati's head coach is? Luke Fickell.
Yeah.
From Ohio State.
Yep.
They were 6-0. They just lost this week. So give them a shout-out, having a good year out there. So UCF has a couple of tough conference games to finish the year out. They had a game postponed. I wouldn't be shocked if they add a game at the end of the year. They have a bye week coming up with no game scheduled, and it seems like it'd be too late to schedule one now for all the logistics. But I would expect them, because they would have 11 regular season games and then the conference title. I could see them possibly scheduling another game if they could find someone. But it's possible.
If you can cut your season short by one game and you're undefeated.
But yeah, if they go 12-0, which would put their winning streak at like 24, 25 games,
Yeah.
25 games, I think it'd be hard to keep them out. I do.
Right.
And I like to see them get a shot. Personally, there's only 4 teams. I don't want to see 2 SEC schools in this. I don't. Take the SEC champion, whoever it is. LSU, Alabama, whoever wins that game, Georgia, whoever wins that. Okay. They get in, you can take the Big Ten champion. If it's not a 2-loss team, it could be that, but if it's not, and then you got
UCF is undefeated, they should start jumping.
I agree. Clemson, if they win the ACC, I get it. But UCF, they're undefeated. Let's give the little guy a shot here.
Oh, didn't play Alabama.
That means nobody's beat him in 2 years.
Right.
So
they play Alabama, and
that'd be great to watch. People would be talking about that.
It would be
for weeks leading up to that.
It'd be like Miracle 2 on grass or whatever.
You never know, dude. You never know.
Oh, I would love to see it just because we talked about this last week. That's why I used to root for Boise State. And Boise State, they said, was a little team that couldn't do it. And they beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So give the little guy a chance. He deserves it.
Now, Rick, you could put anybody in that number 4 spot in the playoffs, and Alabama could hammer them. Like them losing Alabama wouldn't it be a disgrace? Right. I mean, do you think Ohio State could go in there and play with Alabama?
Oh.
Or like Oklahoma? No, they're going to get hammered.
How bad was that Ohio State exposed last night? I mean, you really want to see Alabama play them?
They're one-dimensional. Alabama would eat that alive.
It's going to destroy them.
They have as good or better athletes in a secondary. Haskins would have to play out of his mind to be competitive.
That line would be 19 for a title.
That'd be less than that because of Ohio State, but it'll probably be. I bet it'd be low double digits, 13-ish, in that range, maybe 14.
Oh, it'd be that low. I know who I'm betting.
We're not going to see it, Rick.
No.
Don't have to worry about that one.
Your Nebraska finally won a game for you.
Yeah, actually, Rick, I'm disappointed in Nebraska. I thought they were focused on the task at hand. I thought they were, shooting for immortality and for perfection, and they had to go out and win a game.
They actually stomped them.
They did. They should have won the week before against Northwestern. They gave it up. So, all right, hats off to them. I've been kind of picking on them a little bit. Deservedly.
They still owe Akron U.
Yeah.
They still owe Akron U some money.
Yeah, well, that hasn't changed. But, yeah, so Nebraska finally won a game, so they got off the snide. And, now maybe they can reschedule the Bethany and Cookman game and play someone, realistic.
Yeah.
An FBS team, okay? Come on, Nebraska, let's do that.
Yeah. Take Akron.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Akron's got a game that week. But so the losing streak, we'll keep track of this. UTEP is still the nation's longest losing streak. They did lose. And that's at 19 games now. So, if you guys could maybe say a prayer for the poor miners out there in Texas El Paso, that'd be they need the help right now.
Maybe they have refrigerators out there filled with beer that opens, or a coach that's willing to jump in the lake.
Rick, I'll tell you what. Why don't we take a quick break?
Wait.
Oh, we just got a call. Yeah, go on, patch them through. Yes, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Looking to speak with the Jack and Rod show.
What's up, Big Daddy? How you doing, buddy?
Who's Jack and the Rod?
Hey, I heard Keith's coming home.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. It's good to hear.
Wow.
What are you guys up to?
Nah, we're just having our show. You called us. You know what we're doing.
It must be on delay.
Right, yeah. So what's going on, buddy? Do you have a you have something you want to bring up?
I do it on my iPad Mini. What's going on?
Not much. You enjoy football today?
Very much so.
Yeah. How about
The Steelers are now top of the division.
And how about your Fighting Irish? You know, we were just talking about
They were
college
on
football.
bye, so it's a win.
Right. Absolutely. How about your Notre Dame Fighting Irish?
Well, they're on top of the world, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, all your teams are doing good now. Yeah.
I don't know about all of them. Miami stunk.
Well, you can't have two teams that you
Right. Come on, dude.
You gotta go with one. He's got to be Miami or
Right.
Pittsburgh.
Dude, you're starting to sound like Anthony Lehman. I'm a Falcons
Dude,
fan,
I'm like-
Patriots fan.
I pick all kind of teams.
I picked the one that wins me money. It's my favorite team. That and whoever plays Pittsburgh.
Well, right now it should be Kansas City and the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams are the best team in football, bud.
Rick took Rick picked Cincinnati in that
Defensively and
game.
offensively.
Kansas City's gonna kill me in this one too.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, have you guys come up with a catchphrase or?
No,
you know
you got one?
You guys have the Jim Rome has the jungle and the clones and.
No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Well, see, I was thinking you guys could, instead of the jungle, the ocean, because Rick's last name's Carpenter, and you could call him the Carp. Rick could be the Carp.
All right, that
And we're all fishes swimming in the ocean.
Oh, I got.
like that.
I'm gonna have another
week.
shot because I got.
We are. Hey, we're
catch
gonna have
up
a
with
shot.
Big
We're
Daddy.
gonna have a shot for that and for Keith coming home.
Look at that defensive TD by the Chiefs. They might get the over by themselves tonight.
What is the over? 70?
56 and a half.
Oh, it's over.
God, that is a high number for the NFL, but it's deserved nowadays.
What was
That's amazing.
2 years ago, you wouldn't see a line of
Over
line
like
out of the
51.
30s.
Yeah,
No,
well-
30s.
I was listening to got this long, hour and 40-minute drive, so me and my mom I got my mom listening to sports talk radio
That's awesome.
That's cool.
a couple times a week, and they're calling it arena football outdoors now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
that's-
that one to the bank.
Yeah, it's coming, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's here. It was brewing for.
All the short passing and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
well,
I'd
I'd like to adopt the
that
rules.
can go over the top.
If you could let receivers get a running start, I'd love to adopt that rule. That'd be awesome. Because then
Well,
you're
the
not
Chiefs just
no
had
DB
that
has
play
a chance.
A little bit ago, they had Tariq Hill running behind the running back.
No, not that one. They have one in. You're allowed to just take off from 10
I know,
yards
like
back.
the Canadian Football League.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
All right, Big Daddy. We're going to take a quick break, buddy. I appreciate you calling.
See, you missed my contributions for the last couple of weeks. I come up with great ideas.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You need a catchphrase or gimmick. Rick could be the Carp. You got to come up with Brad's nickname. I was thinking about this for a few weeks.
Well,
You guys, instead of the jungle, you're the ocean,
that's not bad, buddy. I like that.
and all the people that listen are the fishes. Because
That's not bad.
Rick's the Carp, Carpenter for Carp. How about that?
I like it, buddy. I like it. I appreciate it.
We're all just swimming in your fishbowl.
All right, man. Hey, we'll talk to you soon, and we're happy for Keith coming home, man. That's great for you guys, for your
See
family.
what happens when you go many, many months without any shots?
Yeah, we see what happens. You deserve it, man. Have another.
All right, buddy.
Hey.
You guys have a good one. Take
Yeah, you
care,
too.
guys.
Right.
Love you guys.
Love
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that was Big Daddy, is a good friend of ours, and his brother Keith, also, he's part of our family.
That's an inspirational story right there. That man coming out of the hospital.
For you guys who don't know, he suffered a couple of really bad strokes earlier in the year, and he's been hospital bound the whole time, all year. So he's finally coming home. That's awesome to hear, and we wish him and the family the best of luck. So it's been a tough year for that family, and so we're really happy for him coming home. Hopefully we'll be able to see him soon. So with that, guys, so say a prayer for Keith if you guys can. He needs it. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back and continue our discussions, sports discussions.
Being a small business owner can be the challenge of a lifetime. To worry about every little aspect of growing your business is no easy task. Paramount to these is reaching and growing your customer base. That's where we here at the SKO Radio Network can help. With an ever-broadening local, national, and international audience, we can come up with an advertising plan that's right for you and your reach. Easy and affordable rates are available. You can bring your own ad, or we can produce your ad for you right here in-house. Give us a call at 234-706-5857. That number again is 234-706-5857. Or drop us a line at office@skoradio.com. SKO Radio Advertising. The only thing easier is listening.
Hi, this is Bob Fritz, host of the Oldies But Goodies show here on SKO Radio. Join me every Sunday morning from 11 to 2 Eastern Standard Time for the best of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. You can get your requests in by going to Facebook page Yesterday and Today's Classic Music Chat, Tribute, and Games.
Hi, I'm Debbie McCune from Some Kind of Radio Show. Tune in to us every Friday night from 8 p.m. to midnight. Guarantee you don't want to miss us because you never know what we're going to say or do next.
Have you ever wondered who comes up with the music for video games and where they get some of their inspiration? Well, look no further than Game Jams. Casey Church takes you on a 4-hour tour of gaming gems, from the modern marvels of today to yesterday's 8-bit classics. Join us Saturdays 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time for Game Jams, only here on the SKO Radio Network.
Hi folks, Handy Randy. Some Kind of Radio. Every Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, we take your themes. First off, we need you to go to Yesterday and Today's Classics, Music, Chat, Trivia, and Games, and join that Facebook site. Once you do that, then watch for the themes and the requests. Tuesday night, 6 until 10, classic rock and roll. Promise will knock your socks off.
I'm Tony. I'm Sean. Tune in Sundays from 6 to 8 p.m. here on SKO Radio Network. Firearms, Freedom, and Facts. Hosted by Sean and Tony. We're here to discuss all your questions regarding our freedom, politics, and government, Second Amendment, and legal issues affecting our world today.
Tune in and listen Sunday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. here on the SKO Radio Network.
Being a small business owner can be the challenge of a lifetime. To worry about every little aspect of growing your business is no easy task. Paramount to these is reaching and growing your customer base. That's where we here at the SKO Radio Network can help. With an ever-broadening local, national, and international audience, we can come up with an advertising plan that's right for you and your reach. Easy and affordable rates are available. You can bring your own ad, or we can produce your ad for you right here in-house. Give us a call at 234-706-5857. That number again is 234-706-5857. Or drop us a line at office@skoradio.com. SKO Radio Advertising. The only thing easier is listening.
Hi, this is Bob Fritz, host of the Oldies But Goodies show here on SKO Radio. Join me every Sunday morning from 11 to 2 Eastern Standard Time for the best of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. You can get your requests in by going to Facebook page Yesterday and Today's Classic Music Chat, Tribute, and Games.
Welcome back to the Sports Brewing Company, live from the Windsor Pub here on the SKO Radio Network. The phone lines are open, so call in or text to 234-200-5110. That's 234-200-5110. And now, back to your hosts, Brad and Rick.
Okay, welcome back. Rick, we're going to get into our baseball.
Welcome back to the Sports Brewing Company, live
Maybe
from the
not.
Windsor Pub here on the SKO Radio Network.
Okay, now we're back.
I bought you a second.
Okay, Rick, let's talk about baseball here. So the World Series is on the doorstep, and we just finished. Let's talk about the championship series for National League and American League.
Well,
The National League was, pretty good, I thought. The Milwaukee Dodgers. I mean, Game 7, what did they say? It's the best two words in sports. Game 7.
I mean, that's what you want to see and everything. You want to see Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Game 7 of any series.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl, it's one game, but that's a Game 7.
Game 7s are kind of magical. Like, in football, you just have the one game, and that's a big day. Trust me. If your team's in it, you're on cloud 9 that day. And same with college basketball, single elimination at the end of the year. You're on cloud 9. I mean, if you're a sports fan and your team's in it, that's just a great day. But Game 7 is, I think, ratchets it up a notch because you've been watching the series for 10 days, basically.
Yeah.
And it's a dead heat. Obviously, during the series, there's been some drama. There's been some, maybe some crazy finishes. Who knows
cheap
what?
Shots.
Yeah, maybe the teams don't like each other. I mean, it's a whole different dynamic. And I know when I've had my teams in Game 7s, like, I'm walking around in a dream that day.
Was it Game 2? They're saying Machado was the dirtiest player in baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a pretty cheap shot.
It was a very cheap shot. And when you have a lot of – so, Rick, you bring that up. If you got other players talking about that, that usually means where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, if it's confirmed by, someone on a different team, not that team,
right.
You start hearing rumblings, and yeah, he's the dirtiest player.
And I watched that play when he intentionally ran into the foot of Aguilar, the first baseman.
He kicked him pretty good.
That was unnecessary and ridiculous. And then, honestly, Aguilar, I give him a lot of credit. He didn't go after him.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He did not go after him. So I give him a lot of credit for restraining because if you do that, you might miss the next game. So you ultimately hurt your team.
You can't have what happened to Draymond Green happen to you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Draymond Green might have cost him that finals when that. I think LeBron goated him.
Yeah,
I do.
He did.
I do, but
he stepped over him.
Had his nuts in his face. And I could see why Draymond did that, but he's when
he punched his nuts.
Right.
I mean, Draymond's got a ball fetish of some sort because he likes to kick Steve Adams, wanted to grope LeBron a little bit.
So, Rick, in Game 5 of the Milwaukee-LA series, Craig Counsell, he's the manager of the Brewers, pulled an interesting, it's not a stunt, but an interesting move. So he started that game with Wade Miley, okay? And he did that just to deke the Dodgers. So, because Wiley's a lefty, so the Dodgers put their righty lineup out. Yeah. He had him face one guy and then brought in a right-hander to pitch.
Yeah, pull off some stops. I actually like that.
It was interesting move. I don't remember ever seeing that. The Brewers did ultimately lose that game. But I thought that was – and the funny thing is he pitched Wiley in Game 6, and he did win that game. So he did try to pull a fast one.
That is pretty cool.
He was thinking outside the box, and it didn't work. But I thought it was you know what? sometimes you have to approach things a little differently, right? And he did.
Hey, he took a chance on something.
He took a chance, and
if it worked, we'd be calling him a genius right now.
And it's still, listen, I give him credit for trying it. Tied into that was a very interesting stat that I came across, and it's part of what baseball is going to. So in that series, Milwaukee's pitchers, here, I'm going to ask you what you think. 7-game series, right? How many innings do you think Milwaukee starters pitch in that series? Starting pitchers.
Less than 30, since you're...
Way less.
Really?
20 and a third.
For the starting pitchers? That's unbelievable.
Now, that does include starting Miley in Game 5, okay? And he only faced one batter.
Right, but still.
Okay, so if you take that out, that's six games at 20 and a third innings.
That's unreal.
That is a very low number. Even if you're just pitching 5 innings, that's 30 innings.
You're right.
And 6 games. This is 7.
That's kind of what New York tried to do last year, was get to their bullpen as quick as they could.
Yeah, so the game is so much bullpen oriented now. You try to stock your bullpen with big arms and guys who could shut people down. And so in the postseason, these teams, it used to be where you want to knock the starting pitcher out.
Right.
Now, you're not so sure you want to do that because you know what's waiting for you.
Well, that's what hurt the Indians last year was with New York. Is like as soon as they got to the bullpen, you're like, oh, crap.
Well, it hurt them this year, too, because their bullpen, it just didn't measure up.
Well, no, the Yankees' bullpen last year, it was like, they got to wait 5 innings and all of a sudden.
Yeah, and then Kluber wasn't healthy. There was a few things going on there. But, like, when they lost to the Astros this year, the bullpen, it just wasn't measuring up.
No,
so
the Astros got some problems.
Yeah, so, that's the they played the Red Sox and lost in 5 games.
And what was it, Game 3? They caught them cheating?
Game 1. So, if you haven't heard, the Astros have been allegedly caught with their hand in a cookie jar cheating. And this has been brewing for a while.
Well, Oakland originally said something back earlier in the year.
So what Houston's doing is they're putting a guy like in the press box area on the side of the field by the dugout of the opposing team.
Giving them credentials and everything.
Without any credentials. Okay, he's not allowed to be there. He's just sneaking in, and he's taking pictures, filming the opposing dugout. And they got caught. So Oakland mentioned it. Oakland warned the Indians, and the Indians warned Boston.
Yeah.
And it came to a head in Game 1 of the Boston-Houston series. And they pulled the guy out of there. Houston said that they're monitoring the other team to make sure they're not cheating. That's absolute bullshit. That's crap. Come on. You got caught. I agree. It's spin. It's,
Well, they're trying to steal signs, and I think everybody in baseball steals signs.
Everybody's doing it. Boston got caught.
Not where you shouldn't.
Boston got caught last year
doing it. Don't go where
doing
you're not supposed to go.
So
the MLB said they weren't going to do anything about it anyways. They just swept it under the rug and forgot about it.
They're going to try to keep it out of the public eye.
Yeah.
What they're going to do. They're going to address it, though. They're going to try to find ways to regulate, because of all this technology, it makes it easier to spy on people. That's really what's happening here.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to have binoculars anymore. You can just sit there with an iPad.
So there's this unwritten rule in baseball, and baseball has a lot of them about sign stealing. And I play baseball a lot, and this always goes on. It's gone on since the dawn of time.
Everybody steals signs.
And personally, I don't want to see technology. They're using technology for it. I don't want to.
Well, they're already screwing up with instant replay. Instant replay is terrible in baseball. They're getting the guy for popping off the bag when he slides in head first.
Well,
that one sucks.
I think we talked about this in earlier episodes when baseball brought the replay in. If you remember, Rick, I told you then. I said this is going to be a bad idea because they're going to keep expanding it. Once they bring it in, they're not going to stop.
Why is it when sports get replay, the officiating actually gets worse?
And the bad thing is, The bad thing is replay. Actually, you got to change the rules because it brings different dimensions into the game. Like in baseball, I remember we went through a period just like in football where you didn't even know what a catch was anymore. Because you're watching these replays, you're like, oh, how long does he have to hold it? Yeah, it gets to the point where it's ridiculous. Like, it's one thing to make sure, like, the ball left the park, okay? But worrying about a guy maybe coming off the bag an inch on a double that he clearly beat out. I mean, to me, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's not the spirit of what replay is about.
But that's where they're taking it, and that's where they're going.
That's why I didn't want to see baseball bring it in. Exactly why.
Too far.
So
it's a tool that you could use to get some things right, but it's like you make the job easier, so they mess up more, which I don't get. There
are some people.
I don't remember refs screwing up foul ball or home run calls 10 years ago that often.
Yeah, there are some people advocating for an automatic
strike
zone. And I'm not for that either, because I think there's going to be problems. Like, what happens if it doesn't register once?
Oh, yeah.
Pitch? I mean,
you got a repitch, which is actually a benefit for the batter because you get more pitches out of the guy.
Yeah, the human element is part of the game, I think.
And it needs to be.
And you can use replay as a backup, but let's not let it dominate sports.
Right.
Right?
You're totally.
And for one, it makes the games a lot longer too. Nobody wants that. Like, if you're bitching about how long a baseball game is, okay, replay only makes it longer.
Oh yeah. So like Boston Yankees games 8 hours long.
Yeah, well, that's not from replays. That's just from. And all these games with the pitching substitutions, and there's a lot on the line, so I get it. But yeah, some of these games run pretty long.
Yeah.
So the sign stealing. To me, I think it's perfectly legal if you're good enough to pick something up and use it to your benefit.
As long as you're not using technology.
I don't think technology belongs in that part of the game. Not at all.
If you can pick it up without using a smartphone or whatever, then good.
Yeah. So baseball, if it's tough for them to regulate it, but they need to find ways to address it. I guess that's a good way to put it. So, you don't have guys, especially right there next to the opposing team's dugout, taking pictures. And who knows what he was exactly doing, where he was sending them to. I don't know. We probably will never know.
No, they're not going to let you know. They're going to keep this quiet, and all they're going to do is, like, post a security guard at the door or something, or give you a key pass to get in that door.
Well, it's
not going to be something
There should be somebody there already, because it takes credentials to sit there, but I don't know.
They didn't do a very good job of checking them.
I'll tell you one good thing. Even though I was pulling for Milwaukee, I don't know if you noticed this, Rick. I'm watching the Dodgers-Milwaukee games, and the organist for the Dodgers is phenomenal. And during the World Series, listen to the games in L.A. and tell me you don't agree. So in between pitches or at bats, dude, he'll do like an old rock song and then lead into like a baseball chant. Or I heard a Star Wars, like a Star Wars segment, and then he went into like a baseball. The
fact that you're happy that there's a pianist in the World Series.
Organist. I said organist.
I'm drinking again.
All right, I guess it is shot time. After that, it is shot time.
This is why we got to watch the World Series, is because someone's
Everybody! Rick, I'm not really sure why you had to go there, but whoever's doing it, and I should probably look it up if I can find it. Male, female, they are phenomenal. I mean, it stood out to me as I was watching the game how good they were. So, that reason, I'm glad LA is in the World Series. We get to hear more of the organ playing in Chavez Ravine.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so the World Series is between Red Sox and Dodgers.
I had the Dodgers.
Rick, you got the Dodgers? And why do you think the Dodgers are going to win? You can't just say the Dodgers. So why are they going to win this?
can't stand the fact that big market teams are. It's only two big.
Dodgers
market
are a
teams.
big market team, dude.
Yeah, I know they're a big market team. That's why I picked them. I was hoping Boston wouldn't win, but I'll go with the Dodgers. I think they got a little bit better team, and they're a little bit war tested after that. 7-game series.
Okay, so Dodgers were your team to come in the National League. I'll give
Yeah.
you credit for that. Mine was the Brewers. My American League team was the Red Sox. And even though I wanted Houston to win, I said Red Sox would win that. I'm going to stay on the Red Sox, and because I think they're the better team. I think offensively they're more dynamic, they're more versatile. Where the Dodgers rely on home runs more. The Dodgers have a little bit better athletes. They can manufacture runs better. I think they have better at bats, and so I'm going to go with the Red Sox. I do think they're the best team.
Is that another shot? Bet.
Sure, I'll do that. Rick, let's talk about the NBA. So the NBA kicked off here, and obviously
Interesting first week.
It is, but I mean, you really can't come to any conclusions after 1 week.
No, I agree with you, but it's been a very interesting first week.
It is. I mean, it's. I do. One thing about the NBA I like is at night when you get home, there's always a game on.
Oh, there.
I mean, every night, like it's.
You can find something.
Yeah. So one of the things that we did notice is scoring is up. Big time.
Yeah,
big time.
Like 50 points up.
Yeah, I mean, it's reminiscent of like the 70s where you'd have the 140 to 130 games.
Yeah, I'm not understanding it at all. The shot clock rule I didn't think would speed the game up this much.
They haven't changed it. It's been the same.
No, shot clock rule on a rebound.
Well, okay, yeah, without a 14-second. That's not changing much. That's not doing anything.
No, it's not. But, I mean, it's helter-skelter basketball. There's not a lot of defense being played by anybody right now. And it is go, go, go. I mean, that Lakers game last night, I know you watched it. It was 90 miles an hour.
It does seem like the teams are pushing the ball a little bit more. I think part of it is the sports culture where, just like in the NFL, scoring's up. Yeah. We're seeing that in the NBA because they do stress the freedom of movement.
Well, and this year you can't grab a guy's jersey at all.
Well, you never should have been able to, but
well, they had to specify it that it was a rule now.
But I think that's part of what why the scoring's up is the freedom of movement, and will it stay up? I imagine it's going to come back a little bit because it's been pretty high.
It's got to come down a little bit, or else come playoff time we're going to go from really, really good basketball to not, because playoff basketball tightens up and scores normally come down a little bit because teams do play defense.
Yeah, so
I don't want to see the refs start calling it real tight because, like the bank, basketball's about contact too.
Yeah, I actually really like a balance. Like I like good defensive teams, and where it's a challenge for the offensive team to score.
Yeah.
But I like all good offensive players too, like who can overcome that and make plays. So.
Well, if you watch that Lakers game last night, that was a layup line the whole game.
Yeah. So the NBA, that's one thing they've gone to is you see a lot more, like especially since you see a lot more analytics in baseball. One of the things that you're seeing in basketball is you're seeing teams either take threes or try to get layups.
Yeah. I mean, the mid-range jump shot's almost dead. I mean,
there's a few players who still do it.
Good one,
Chris Paul and the kid from Golden State, that backup. What's that guard? That backup guard's name?
Oh, Childress.
Livingston. Yeah, he's a really good mid-range player. And there's another one I'm thinking of. I just can't think of off. But you do see some players who do. Hayward shoots a lot of mid-ranges from Boston. There's an element for that, and actually, if you're good at that, you can probably expose a weakness in the NBA right now.
Oh yeah, Rip Hamilton did it for years and years. But
it seems like the offense, like there's some good defensive players. It just seems like the offensive scheming, it's just so skewed to the offense that they're able to dominate right now in the NBA. Like, you can almost generate any kind of shot you want. Because there's so many good offensive players.
There are.
I think that's another reason why scoring is up.
Elite teams can score on anybody.
Yeah.
And after a week of watching it, LeBron's in trouble in the West.
I'm not there yet.
I'm telling you. Well,
I'm not
came
there
out
yet.
tonight. Rondo's going to miss 3 games, and Embiid's going to miss 4.
Embiid?
Not Embiid.
Oh, you mean Ingram?
Ingram.
Well, he came in and threw that punch.
They got
afterwards.
lucky their suspensions were that low.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think they're going to be fine. I do. I think
they can't shoot. That was horrible. And LeBron doesn't look like he can figure out what to do if his teammates can't shoot.
He'll figure it out, though.
He's looking for a lot of cutters.
He's as smart a basketball player as there is in the league. He'll figure it out. He will. No, like I said, I'm not saying they're a great team. They're not. But there are some good elements of that team. They can run the ball. They have good athletes.
Well, here we go again. How long?
I think he'll be
can
fine.
LeBron play at this
he'll figure it out
the whole season?
He'll figure it out. I think they're going to make the playoffs. And listen, the West is very, very tough. And I'll tell you a game that was the best game I've seen so far was that Utah Golden State game. That was a great game.
That was a real good game.
Utah is a very good defensive team, and that was as good a first week that they had.
Oh, that was
they had like late season feel to it. As good as that game was.
Durant missed, and who was it that tipped it in?
Jerebko.
I mean, it
tipped
was,
in the game winner.
Yeah. I mean, that was a great game to watch.
Great game. And Utah.
And it's week 1.
It's week 1.
And the Cavs have been good to watch. I mean, you can't expect a lot of wins this year from
They're
the
not going to
Cavs
win a
team.
lot.
But they will be fun to watch. They've been in games.
Well, except for today. They got hammered.
They were in the game for a while.
Yeah,
I
but
was watching at home. It was 88-84.
Yeah, but they got blown out like in that fourth quarter.
Yeah,
they lost that game by more than 20 points.
All right, I'm just saying they were in it for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
But
Atlanta's not good.
They're
not good.
Cavs aren't that good either.
No, they're not. So we talked about Houston a little bit. You know, obviously, like last week was our preview, NBA preview, and you know, Houston, we both agreed is a little bit down, or they're not as good as they were last year.
No, they're not.
And I had Houston.
Not.
I still had Houston number 2 and Utah 3. If I had to do it again, I'd put Utah 2 because they're so good defensively.
Houston's gonna struggle this year.
I think they're actually like Houston has maybe. They have 2 elite playmakers. That's the only reason that I have it 2.
Right.
With Chris Paul and Harden. But then Utah's got a lot of really good players. And Gobert has really become a good player.
Yes,
I love Mitchell.
They struggled to beat the Lakers. I don't think the Lakers are a playoff team. Right now, I actually think the Cavs would give the Lakers a shot to one game. The Lakers don't look good.
I mean, one game you never know.
But you know, I don't see Houston. They might be the 4th best team in that division.
In the Western Conference?
If Minnesota can work it out with Jimmy Butler, Minnesota might be the 3rd best team.
Yeah, I'm not there. I'm not. I don't think they're going to be. They're that high. I don't know. I have other teams ahead of them. Denver.
Well, yeah.
OKC probably.
We got to see what happens when Westbrook gets back. Well, then you agree LA is going to have a hard time making spot 8.
Yeah, I have a slate at 6 or 7, I think, but it's going to be very crowded. Like we talked about, like the West is really deep.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I have the Spurs missing the playoffs.
Well, Pop's not going to win 50 games for like first time ever.
Yeah, and you know I have Minnesota slated at 8th. You also have teams like I forgot about Portland. Portland's going to probably be 3, 4, or 5.
Denver,
and then New Orleans,
Phoenix.
Yeah,
Phoenix is going to be.
They're up and coming. I think they're a year away yet, but they have some good young players, and that's what I'm saying. Like the bottom end, like Phoenix and Sacramento in the West, they're good teams. Like you have to play to beat them.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't get that in the East. You don't have those teams.
Well, LeBron's played 14 years where he didn't have to deal with this kind of competition night in and night out.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be a cakewalk.
Got to wear on him this season.
It is, but listen, dude, he's a very, very good player, and there is enough around him where they could be pretty good.
No one can shoot. It was bad to watch. I mean, if you watched it last night, he tried to back people down.
All right, so you keep saying this. I'm going to bring up their stats from yesterday because I don't think it's as bad as you're thinking. So I'm going to bring that up.
They shot like 30%, and I think it was because of Lonzo Ball. Somehow, Lonzo Ball, who has the worst shot in the world, hit like 4 or 6 or something.
Matter of fact, the Rockets are losing right now.
They're tired. They scored 180. Yeah, they're huge fight. Huge fight.
Was there a fight in that game?
Rondo.
Oh, yesterday. Yeah,
Rondo, Chris Paul, and Ingram.
By the way, Golden State lost today. They just lost to Denver.
Denver's not bad.
No, Denver's a good team. So let me bring up the Lakers game.
All right, go ahead.
Where are you at, Lakers? That was from Friday, right?
No, it was last night.
Was it last night? Yeah, you're right. It was last night. All right, so here we go.
Saturday night. Chris Paul and Harden combined for 60 or 70. I don't know. It was pretty high.
Okay, so let's bring up the stats here for the Lakers. Lakers shot 48% from the field, 3-point, 25%.
25%.
Yeah. Lonzo Ball went 4 of 8.
Yeah, Lonzo, 50% shooter. That's the one person that saved him.
LeBron James went 1 of 7.
LeBron's not a 3-point shooter. We all know that. He thinks
he's better than he was.
But yeah, he was hideous. Now he just sucks.
Yeah, Rick, listen, Rick, I'm not saying that there's a great shooting team. That's not their strength.
Unless they can go find shooters, there's no way this works.
Listen, look at it this way. They didn't shoot well. They shot 25% from 3, 61% from the line, and that was a game against Houston. Houston pulled away at the very end, but that was a competitive game.
It was like watching an and-one basketball game, though. You either went in for a layup, and it was uncontested because nobody guarded anybody.
Yeah, but that's today's NBA. It's a different league than it was, when I was watching it in the 90s.
Because this isn't that good.
80s and 90s. It's a totally different league than that. And honestly, I prefer a more physical type of basketball. I just do. I just think it's better basketball. But
there was no defensive help in that game. It wasn't even fundamentally sound. It's like you put that on for your 8th grade basketball team and say, this is what you don't do. And no one knew how to play defense. They're sitting there talking about the guys trying to guard James Harden. And he's got his hands straight out.
Right.
And James Harden draws a foul, and he complains.
Yeah.
There is no defensive stance in NBA in basketball
that
has your hands in front of you.
Yeah, there was a couple of things during the Lakers game. The way they would defend guys, like they would guard them off to the side, and I thought they left too many easy straight line drives for like elite players. Like on the perimeter, they would guard like Chris Paul. The defender would be off to the side, forcing a baseline, but it was a straight line drive. Yeah, I mean he's too good. You can't give a guy like that.
James Harden was doing layup after layup.
Well, that's what Houston does though. Houston was at the forefront of we're going to shoot threes or get layups. That's what we're doing. We're we're getting dunks, layups, or 3-point shots. That's all we're doing.
You get your shooting percentage up. So if you get hot from 3, you take off and you have a great chance.
Well, they were good enough shooters. With Harden and Eric Gordon and Ariza and Gerald Green, all those guys. Well, I mean, he's on a team now, but where they figure, we're going to keep firing threes because we're going to make enough of them where it pays off.
Yeah, I mean,
if you shoot 40% from 3,
you win.
It's like shooting 60% from 2s. Did we get a text? Yeah. Okay. Rick, go ahead.
Did LeBron commit career suicide? I think so. Rick from North Canton.
Rick, do you want to take that first?
I agree with you. And no one agrees with me, but no one's watched as many LeBron James basketball games as I have. Because it is ridiculous to think that he is going to be able to play at this pace. And if he doesn't start winning, he's, 2 games into it now, hasn't won. And granted, they're both good teams. But you see him at the end of the game, and he's smiling and joking around with the other team. It's not going to go over well. They had a young core of players. They should have kept them. LeBron's not winning anything in LA. No one wants to play with him. He's getting older. By the end of this year, he will be tired. His legs will be showing mileage.
Rick, all right, you sound like a bitter LeBron James fan.
No, I used to get called the LeBron hater last year and the year before.
But
I can't stand the style of basketball he plays. And have to watch him run up and down that court.
You sound like...
He huff and puffs, dude.
I don't agree with that.
No way.
You sound like the old man yelling at the kids to get off his lawn. You do. Get off my lawn. You do.
Oh, trust me.
So, listen.
When I'm right about this and the wheels fall off in L.A. at the end of the year, that's going to be great.
What's the wheels falling off? Just define that so I know.
They miss the playoffs.
Okay.
And he can't get.
They
miss the playoffs.
They're going to make the playoffs.
They miss the playoffs, and he can't get a free agent. Okay. He can't pull a top free agent.
Yes, I don't think this is a career suicide.
Well, no, not for the career he wants. It's good for the career he wants because he wants to be in acting.
You made your point. Let me make my point. Even for basketball, listen, the Lakers are one of the premier franchises. There's nothing wrong with going there. Okay.
Except for they're gonna suck.
Many times, many years, even in Miami and Cleveland, his teams got the slow starts. I remember Cleveland was 500 through 50 games one year.
Well, yeah, and he started slow in Miami, but there was talent on those teams that could shoot from beyond 15.
They had better shooters. I don't know if it's all more talent, but they had better shooters. I mean, they had more talent with Kyrie, definitely with Kyrie.
Oh, well, yeah.
There's not another Kyrie on that team, but I think outside of that, it's a different team. Very different, but it could work. They play a different style. They're not going to be in the lights out 3-point shooting team.
Okay,
and that's listen. I know the NBA is trending that way. They have to be really good defensively. I think they have to be better than they are right now.
Well, and they're long.
They are and very athletic.
A good rim protector. But here's another one. How good's that locker room right now? Because after last night, when his teammate decided to punch his best friend on the court, like, yes, you couldn't add any more to tear this up. I can't wait.
Nah, I think it's got his teammates back.
Luke Walton, they interviewed him after game one. So what did you think? He's like, he's a very talented player. I'm going to look forward to working with him over the course of this year. I'm like, dude, you're fired by Christmas. It doesn't matter.
See, I think you're missing. I think you're wrong on all these takes. I think Luke Walton is perfectly safe there. I think he's very well respected. He's got the cachet. He's got the name. I think he's fine there. He's a very good coach. Very well respected.
I like Luke Walton as a coach, but LeBron will have him fired.
I disagree. He's not going anywhere. I don't think his career is suicide. You know, he's an older player now, and he's playing for one of the premier franchises in the league. Does he win a title there? I don't know. Obviously, with the team he's got now, no.
I like some of these young players, but they should develop the instead going
they're
out.
Still developing, Rick.
No,
I mean, they're not
instead
developing.
of going out and getting Rondo, Deshaun, JaVale McGee, and teaching these young players bad habits. I'm just saying you could have. Look, Rondo gets there and Ingram's throwing punches.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that. Punch thrown in how many years in the NBA?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now Rondo and Chris Paul, two of the best guards in the game, are going at it, which I thought was great, by the way. Remind me of old Detroit basketball.
Yeah, I think they're better off than you think. It's not as bad as you think. So,
well, legitimately,
I would not be shocked. Be honest. I would not be shocked if he wins the title in L.A. before he's done. That would not surprise me. Now, I'm not sure it's going to happen, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Who's going to play with him then?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
Well, that's why you make a prediction. You put it out there that you think this guy will play with him.
No, dude, I have no idea. I don't know who else.
Don't you find it funny that the younger players don't want to play with him? The Kawhis, the Kyrie. Kyrie couldn't wait to get out of town. They just won a title. And he's like, I got to go. I mean, that's how.
I don't think that speaks for everybody. So let's let this play out
Kyle
a little bit.
Korver said it's great to be playing
basketball again. You sound like the bitter old man that he left your team.
No, actually, I love watching the Cavs because people move.
They do move.
They don't move mannequins from one side of the court to the other.
But let's not pretend that you would give up what LeBron accomplished.
My favorite thing this week was on Monday. Larry Nance walked in. He signed his contract, and he said, I'm a Cleveland guy. I was born here. I love it here. I'm staying here. Just to take another little dig at LeBron, he had to do it. There you go, buddy.
Rick, you sound like the bitter old man. You do. Let's move on. Let's move on from this. We do not see eye to eye on this at all. And I'm not even a LeBron fan. So,
it's because he left the Cavs. Now you're a huge LeBron fan because you're a Cavs hater. You're like, oh, no, he's gone. I can root for him.
I'm not rooting for him at all. I'm not.
You know what I saw the other night, and I thought he retired, and I don't know why, just because Miami's not a great team. Dwayne Wade's still playing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to walk off into the sunset.
So we had this discussion the other day, and I thought it'd be cool to have a quick one on air. And if you guys want to text us or call us, you're more than welcome to. We were talking about who would we want to have if we could have one player in the history of basketball to take the last shot to win a game. And there's obviously a lot of good choices. And Rick, why don't you start? Like, who would you take if you had to take a one player you needed to make a shot?
Well, we did talk about this, so I know who you're taking. And it's actually a great pick. I don't think you can go wrong with him. But I would probably take Kobe. It's Kobe, Jordan, the same type player, but Kobe was a little bit better shooter. But I'd probably go Kobe. There's so many right now.
There is.
I mean, if you're gonna do a top 10,
so if you would, okay,
LeBron's not one of them.
Let me ask you this. God, you're such a LeBron
I
hater
know.
all of a sudden.
It's great.
If you could take one player today, who would you take?
Today, right now, it'd probably be Curry or Durant.
I would take Durant. Durant would be my guy.
One of them two.
He's totally unguardable.
Yeah, 7 foot, can shoot from inside the gym.
If I had to take a guy in the history of the game to make one shot, it would be Larry Bird.
Yep.
He'd be the guy.
Well, we both said that was a good one, and the Larry Bird pick, you can't knock it.
No, and he always talked about that. I remember when he was the coach at Indiana, and then he was like the general manager. He always talked about how important it was for guys to put the time in to be in a position where they could make that shot, where they had a right to take that shot. And he goes, that's what I did. He goes, I used to put the time in, practice, so when the time came, I was the guy that took that shot and hit it.
Well, think about it. I mean, every kid, when we were growing up, every kid did that 3-2-1 at the foul line shot. You did it over and over again, especially if you saw it. I don't care if you're a Cavs fan, a Bulls fan, Pistons fan. Everybody knows that shot. And everybody at one time or another in their driveway went 3-2-1.
And hit it.
Yep. The funny thing now is everybody, when they do something like that and they shoot in a trash can, they go, Kobe. It's like, wow, there was Michael Jordan, you know?
Right. Yeah, and the thing about Bird is we could probably interview 100 guys he played against or more.
The McDaniel story
and
is
they would all talk about, dude, this guy would come on the court and tell us what he's going to do and then do it and beat us. He goes, it was just ridiculous. And he is a notorious trash talker.
Oh,
as good as anybody.
They said, and I was watching one of the shows where they had all the old players on talking about trash talking and who back it up. They said Jordan was a trash talker.
Yeah, they said Jordan was really good at it.
He did it in like different ways.
Yeah.
Steve Smith said one time he came down, you know, they're playing, and he's guarding them, and they come back down. Jordan goes 38. He's like, oh, whatever. He's gone. Jordan gets ball. A little bit later, he's 36. A little bit later. It took me a while. He was counting down saying he's going to drop 40 on me. I'm like, dude, that's messed up.
It is messed up.
I mean, that's like a head game, too. It's not just, talking trash. It's a head game, which Jordan's probably the greatest.
He's the greatest. I don't think anybody's been better. I mean, there's a lot of good players.
But he's not the guy you picked to take the last shot.
You can make arguments. He might be my second one because he was
top 5.
He was so good at what he did.
He is top 5, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely up there.
I mean, he hit every big one, so you have to put him in top 5 no matter what.
He was a great closer. A great closer.
I mean, I'd have no problem. Bird, Kobe, Jordan, Durant, Curry,
or even Magic Johnson.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas called Mr. Clutch for a while. I mean, there was so many players.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of great players.
Oh, yeah. And
so you can make an argument about a lot of guys. Mine's Bird, just because he did it so often. And some of the shots were amazing. And it's on record for guys like, this guy called this shot and still I couldn't stop him. So
funny thing is I think LeBron has more game winners than some of the people we named.
I don't think LeBron's a bad choice.
But
because he's such a good playmaker. He's a great passer. So, like, if taking a last shot, maybe not that. If it's making a play to win a game, okay, he'd be in the discussion. He's still not the first choice, I don't think. No. Okay, we're going to take our last break, guys. And listen, if you have any other choices, feel free to text us who you think. And we'll be right back.
Have you ever wondered who comes up with the music for video games and where they get some of their inspiration? Well, look no further than Game Jams. Casey Church takes you on a 4-hour tour of gaming gems, from the modern marvels of today to yesterday's 8-bit classics. Join us Saturdays 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time for Game Jams, only here on the SKO Radio Network.
Hi, this is Bob Fritz, host of the Oldies But Goodies show here on SKO Radio. Join me every Sunday morning from 11 to 2 Eastern Standard Time for the best of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. You can get your requests in by going to Facebook page Yesterday and Today's Classic Music Chat, Tribute, and Games.
Hi, I'm Debbie McCune from Some Kind of Radio Show. Tune in to us every Friday night from 8 p.m. to midnight. Guarantee you don't want to miss us because you never know what we're going to say or do next.
Have you ever wondered who comes up with the music for video games and where they get some of their inspiration? Well, look no further than Game Jams. Casey Church takes you on a 4-hour tour of gaming gems, from the modern marvels of today to yesterday's 8-bit classics. Join us Saturdays 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time for Game Jams, only here on the SKO Radio Network.
Hi folks, Handy Randy. Some Kind of Radio. Every Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, we take your themes. First off, we need you to go to Yesterday and Today's Classics, Music, Chat, Trivia, and Games, and join that Facebook site. Once you do that, then watch for the themes and the requests. Tuesday night, 6 until 10, classic rock and roll. Promise will knock your socks off.
I'm Tony.
I'm Sean. Tune in Sundays from 6 to 8 p.m. here on SKO Radio Network. Firearms, Freedom, and Facts. Hosted by Sean
and Tony.
We're here to discuss all your questions regarding our freedom, politics, and government, Second Amendment, and legal issues affecting our world today.
Tune in and listen Sunday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. here on the SKO Radio Network.
Being a small business owner can be the challenge of a lifetime. To worry about every little aspect of growing your business is no easy task. Paramount to these is reaching and growing your customer base. That's where we here at the SKO Radio Network can help. With an ever-broadening local, national, and international audience, we can come up with an advertising plan that's right for you and your reach. Easy and affordable rates are available. You can bring your own ad, or we can produce your ad for you right here in-house. Give us a call at 234-706-5857. That number again is 234-706-5857. Or drop us a line at office@skoradio.com. SKO Radio Advertising. The only thing easier is listening. Welcome back to the Sports Brewing Company, live from the Windsor Pub here on the SKO Radio Network. The phone lines are open, so call in or text to 234-200-5110. That's 234-200-5110. And now, back to your hosts, Brad and Rick.
Okay, guys, welcome back to our last segment. This segment, if you guys have been following along, is we make our picks every week in the NFL. But before we get there, we did get a text on our last conversation, and this comes from Huntsville, Alabama. I was stationed in Alabama for a while, Rick. What was the name of that? Fort McClellan? So, yeah, I was down in Alabama for a while. I liked it down there. So, this is Jim from Huntsville and his top 5. So, he goes, here's my top 5. Great show, guys. I really enjoy it. Number 5, Kobe Bryant. 4, Larry Bird. 3, Ray Allen.
I forgot about Ray Allen.
2, Michael Jordan. And 1, Steph Curry.
This one just
and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, this is, a lot of personal preference, and all these guys are totally worthy. Like I said, mine is Bird, and Rick, yours was Bryant. I would take, you have Curry at number 1. I would argue that I would rather have Durant there, just because he's such a tough guard. And I think he's a little bit better off the dribble than Curry is. And Jordan is a legit right there. And Allen's an interesting pick. He's the all-time, 3-point shooter in the NBA. So
and he game 6.
Right. I mean, he basically helped win that second championship in Miami.
Yeah.
Without him, they probably lose to San Antonio.
Yeah, and traveling. Just whistle blow.
Yeah, so Jim, appreciate it.
That's a great list.
Yeah, thanks for that text. Appreciate it, and keep getting a hold of us if you would like. Did we get another text?
Yeah, I sent it to you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so
someone's saying they take Magic and Bird, sign LeBron. It's like.
What's that?
And it was saying that LeBron was listening. Yeah, I don't think it's LeBron, but someone pulling the joke.
LeBron's listening.
Yeah.
That'd be great. LeBron, if you're listening,
no, don't send anybody out here.
Hey, no, Ricky's the one that's hitting on you now, not me. I'm not even a fan of you, but I think you deserve more credit than what he's giving you. Okay, so
how lucky is he to have 3 championships? Let's give him the one against Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
They dominated, right?
They did.
They did
the
dominate.
Second one, they were very fortunate.
They were very fortunate. And if you remember in the first one, Durant couldn't get a foul call to save his life. So, we could talk about
and then
Durant
the one in Cleveland.
They were down
3-1, and Draymond Green gets suspended.
Draymond Green gets suspended.
Yeah, it would be hard to win 2 in a row in Golden State. But listen, they pulled it off.
They did.
I'm not going to knock them for that.
I'm just saying. He's very close to being, 1-7?
Has it been 8? Is it 8?
It was 8 straight.
In a row. Yeah, well, he also lost the one to San Antonio before that.
Well, he beat San Antonio the one time.
Yeah, dude, so he's been in 9 finals.
Yeah.
4 in Miami, 4 in Cleveland, and then the one before in Cleveland.
And that one doesn't count.
So he's 3-6.
But, I mean, he could very easily be 1-8.
Could be, but he's not, though. So,
all right.
Okay.
Is he the best player in the game today?
No, I think Kevin Durant is.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
If you can't rank in the top 50 in defense, you can't be the best player in the game.
I think Durant is. There's a lot of good players, though. I mean, Anthony Davis is really good. There's a lot of good players, and LeBron is still really good. Are we getting another text here?
Yeah, I'll send a picture.
Okay. So, hey,
let's number 2 player.
Let's get started here. Maybe we'll have the discussion next week. So, are you going to text it to me there, Earl? Okay. All right, so we got our text. I'll get to that in just a moment. All right, so we do our weekly picks. I know we got a game going here. Kansas City is going to win this game, but I'm not counting that yet. Rick, you went 9-3. Good week. I went 7-5. And that puts Rick, you're at total 37-21. And I'm at 41-17, so I got 4 games on you. However, you got Cincinnati in this game. I got Kansas City, so I'll pick one back up. So I'll probably, and we both have Atlanta tomorrow night, so I'll probably be 5 games ahead of you going into next week's action.
Yeah, just like,
but you had a good week. I mean, 9-4 because the Cincinnati loss.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's real solid. I'm still better though. But okay, so let's get started on next week's. Well, here, did I get the text?
Yeah.
All right, so let me look at this text real quick first. Earl was laughing over there, so I don't know what I'm getting into. Did we get one or two?
It's right after the second. It's basically the same person.
All right, hold on. So this has got to be from Big Daddy or someone. Tell me this doesn't sound like Big Daddy. All right, so we get this text, unknown number. Jordan Bird, best to make clutch shots. Signed LeBron. Delonte the best. Signed LeBron's mom.
That's just wrong.
That sounds like Big Daddy, dude.
That's gotta be Big Daddy. No, that's the puppet commercial.
Yeah,
that's so wrong.
That sounds like Big Daddy. And I'd be shocked. Actually, his number's on here. I'll look at that in a minute.
Can't believe you went there. Can't believe you said it.
The number's there, so.
I'm going to look at that here in a minute. Okay. Thank you, Val. Whoever sent that, Big Daddy. Okay, so next Thursday, we have Miami's at Houston. Rick, I'll go ahead and get started here. I'll take Houston at home in that game.
Yeah, I got no faith in Miami. I'll take Houston.
Okay. Okay, so we got another London game. And this one is Philadelphia and Jacksonville. Ooh. And this one's in London.
Wow, both these teams. Well, I
don't know who's going to quarterback for Jacksonville. But
Cody Kessler.
It might.
Come on down. I Philly's got to win this game. I can't. Jacksonville's got problems. Maybe Jalen Ramsey should stop talking and start practicing.
Isn't it amazing? So Philadelphia won the Super Bowl last year. They're 3-4. Jacksonville was in the AFC Championship. They're 3-4. Like the NFL is crazy.
Yeah,
it really is. I'm going to take Philadelphia in that game too. And then we have the normal games here. The Jets are in Chicago. I think Chicago is going to get back on the winning side in this one. And I'm going to take Chicago Bears.
We're going to agree way too much on some of these now because I'm going to take Chicago because I think Khalil Mack's going to bounce back. And I think he'll rattle Darnold there.
I hope so.
Yeah, I know you do.
Then we have Tampa Bay is at Cincinnati. That could be a really interesting game. So, Rick, who do you like there?
I'll take Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is probably one of the best teams in the East and the AFC North.
You're going to know it tonight.
Well,
Kansas City, and New England are probably the two best teams in the AFC.
Yeah. Kansas City is better than Tampa Bay.
I can't wait to see Kansas City and San Diego play, or the Chargers play.
Yeah, that's
right. Okay, so you got Cincinnati there. Rick, I'm going to take Cincinnati there at home too, because this will be 2 in a row they lost because they lost at home to Pittsburgh.
Right.
Yeah. So give me Cincinnati at home. Next we got Seattle at Detroit. That's a pretty good game. Man, it's a tough one. That's a tough one for me.
I don't think it's that hard of a decision.
Yeah, well, I know you don't. You're not on Seattle at all. I know
that. Seattle's falling apart. The locker room.
They're still 3-3.
They're calling
They're competitive.
They're calling for Wilson to lose his job.
Why?
I don't know that locker room.
Wilson's fine.
He's lost that locker room.
He's not the problem with that team. He's not the problem with that team.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying he's lost.
When you watch him, he's still a very good quarterback.
Well, then take him.
Yeah, but there's more to the game than just that. I'm
trying to talk you into him.
Yeah.
The team's falling apart.
Give me Detroit at home in that
one. See, Detroit.
You can take a Detroit, okay.
Yep.
Okay, we got Denver at Kansas City.
You can't go Kansas City.
Yeah.
I mean, Kansas City is one of the best teams. Denver is not that good. They got decent defense.
Yeah, so then we got Washington at the Giants. Man, are the Giants due to win one finally or what? Man.
Is Eli going to be the starting quarterback? He looks like his brother in the last year.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on out there. Oh, man.
Is Eli Manning the first quarterback to ever win 2 Super Bowls and not make the Hall of Fame?
Isn't that a de facto Hall of Fame? Isn't it?
Yeah, but if you look at his numbers, if he doesn't make the playoffs, I think he's what?
You know what?
I don't think he's in the playoffs unless he wins the Super Bowl, except for maybe twice.
Yeah, I don't remember like how many super or playoff appearances he has.
It's not great.
Give me Washington there. It's a tough one, but I'll take Washington. I think they are the better team.
Yes,
so.
they are. I'll take Washington. We're agreeing way too much.
Yeah, that's a little unusual. Okay, well, this one might change. We got Cleveland at Pittsburgh. You going to take the homer pick, Rick? And
I quit. I don't want to do this game. Are we going to find a way? Pittsburgh's defense sucks. But our offense hasn't been that great. We did tie them. It was first game of the year. Hugh Jackson's taking over the offensive calls.
God, here we go.
Mayfield, I see Mayfield playing good. Mayfield should have his best game because this defense does suck.
Rick, really? You're going down this road?
Going Cleveland.
Oh, jeez. I think Pitt. I'd take a Pitt. I think it's going to be an easy one for them. I think they're pissed off they tied that first game. Yeah.
Pittsburgh's not that good either, though.
Yeah, well, they're better than Cleveland. Give me Pittsburgh at home. Then we got Baltimore at Carolina.
Baltimore is really good.
Man, Carolina just had a really good road win. You know what? I'm going to take Carolina in that game. Yeah, that's a tough one. Baltimore's capable of winning on the road. But
but good defenses tend to rattle Cam Newton. Him a couple times, he gets a little loose in the pocket. I'm going Baltimore.
Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one for me. And here we go. This might be this is probably not the worst. One of them. Indianapolis at Oakland.
Really?
Yep, they're actually going to play that game.
Well, assuming John Gruden doesn't trade away all the players before that day, I'll take Indy. Oakland, Gruden goes in and just starts trading away your best pieces. I don't understand him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on there. And obviously the results aren't there either. So I'm going to take Oakland at home. And probably because they're just at home. That's probably why. This might be the game of the week here. Actually, no, my God. We have a couple really good games coming up. This is one of them. Green Bay at the Rams. Give me the Rams, though. I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback, maybe the best quarterback in the game right now, but Rams are just more complete on both sides of the ball, and they're better. And they're
better all around.
So I'm going to take the Rams, but you have a fighting chance when you have that kind of quarterback. So that's not a gimme. The Rams are going to have to play. But give me the Rams on that one.
No, I'll take the Rams all day in that. Green Bay just doesn't have the talent to match up. They really don't.
Right. Overall, they don't. You're right. And then we have our last 4 o'clock game is San Francisco at Arizona.
Why don't you just turn the TV off?
I'm not going to be watching that game. That's for sure.
I'll take. It's at Arizona, right?
Yep.
I'll take Arizona because they're at home.
I'm going to take Arizona as well. And I'm not even going to give a reason why. I'm just going to take them. All right, the Sunday night game. The Sunday night games have been really good.
Yeah.
It's the Monday night games that have been shitty.
Right.
The Sunday night games are good. So this Sunday night we have New Orleans at Minnesota. And
that'd be a really
New
good
Orleans
game.
just they went into Baltimore and won today. That's a great win.
Well, yeah, and Drew Brees threw for his 500th career touchdown.
He did. Yeah, I mean, congrats to him.
He's got record-breaking
every week. Something's happening. So, all right.
I'm gonna take. I'll take Drew Brees.
You're gonna take New Orleans.
Yep.
I'm gonna take Minnesota at home in the dome there. Give me the Vikings at home. And then Monday night we have New England at Buffalo.
Woo-hoo.
I don't know.
How does Buffalo get a Monday night game?
Tom Brady versus Derek Anderson. Who you taking? I might take Derek Anderson.
You go ahead. I'm taking New England.
But I think New England seems better, so I will go New England. But I mean, quarterbacks is close.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our picks for next week.
I didn't know Derek Anderson was still in the league.
They signed him.
Such a two.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm assuming he's going to quarterback next week. I don't know if Allen's going to be back, but all right. So we got a couple of new texts here, and let me bring them up. All right, so we got 2. You said?
2.
Okay. So we got another one from Jim from Huntsville.
No, that's an old one. Go back.
Oh. Are you sure?
Yes.
It says if Pittsburgh wins, Rick should wear a Browns jersey.
Oh, no.
If the Browns win, Brad needs to finally eat a dog bone.
Yes.
Signed, Vested Listener.
Vested Listener.
That's Jim from Huntsville. Okay, so if Pittsburgh wins, didn't you wear a Pittsburgh jersey one time? So
yeah.
you've already done that.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of Brad at the dog bone.
All right, so here, let's do this.
I'm not eating a dog bone.
You're eating a dog bone.
No, I'm not eating a dog bone.
That's going to be the steak.
No.
If Browns win, I'll eat a dog bone. If they lose, you eat one.
What's the points?
Straight up.
No way in hell. My head coach is no.
Sorry, Jim, Vested Listener. Rick isn't going for that one. I like the idea, though. I think we should do that.
Jim,
but
the Vested Listener. That's what we're going to start calling
and then we have another unknown number. This has got to be Big Daddy.
304 area code.
Is it?
304.
Cleveland going to lose in overtime again. Signed, Carlos Hyde.
If they play in our overtime game this year, they will have broke the record because they tied the record today.
Yeah. I'm going to see if this one is. Let's see. I can see if this was Big Daddy here before we go off air. Let me find the right one here.
The 304 is West Virginia, whoever that was.
That could be Big Daddy.
351 473. Okay, hold on here. Let me go. Let me go into here.
There's Pat Mahomes. He's got a heck of a story. He had a heck of a night. 358 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's Big Daddy.
Yeah, the other ones that was 3-3 out.
Yeah,
Big Daddy.
That's Big Daddy. Hey, Big Daddy. Hope you're feeling. I think you're feeling no pain tonight. Rick, is there anything you want to close out with? Like anything happened this week? I do have one thing that happened I want to bring up. But
right.
How about you? Anything went on that you want to talk about?
What? Yeah, come on.
I'm not going to talk about that one. Maybe we'll have a segment at some point. But
it's been a typical week. It hasn't really been anything.
So I would really appreciate if my cat stopped bringing live animals into my house. That'd be nice. And he's been doing that a lot lately.
Oh, mine puts mice on the front porch.
Mine brings them in the house, and then he plays with them and lets them loose in my bedroom. Yeah, so I got mice running around my bedroom until he finds them again and kills them. But yeah, so I'm like, he did it again the other day, and I knew what was going to happen. I'm watching him, and he brings them into my bedroom, drops them, and then he loses interest, and the mouse scurries off. I'm like, really, dude? I can't find them anywhere. But I did find. He found them, and he was playing with them dead the next morning in the kitchen. So, I mean, you remember my live bird story. So he's a piece of work, man. He loves bringing them in the house for whatever reason. So I would appreciate if he would stop that. So a little shout out to my cat, my little buddy Cosmo. I love you, but I wish you could stop doing that. Okay, I think that wraps up our show. We had a great time.
We got Papa Shot, looks like. We're going to have a little Papa Shot tournament going, Brad?
We might have. All right, we might do a Papa Shot.
I mean, can we break 5? Can we see if we can break 5?
I don't know what happened that time, dude. I got to be honest. I don't understand what happened. How that
happened.
We
got money on me doing it headbutting the ball, right?
Sure.
All right.
Well, we had a great time, Rick. We're going to sign off. And We appreciate all the involvement, all the texts and the calls, and I hope you guys have a great week. We'll be back here next Sunday night at 9:30. We are the Sports Brewing Company, brought to you by SKO Radio. Have a good one.
See ya.